Harriet Tubman was born Araminta Ross around 1822 in Dorchester County, Maryland. She was born into slavery and faced unimaginable hardships from a young age. At just 5 years old, to where she was rented out to other families to work as a nursemaid, field hand, and more. As a teenager, she suffered a severe head injury when an overseer threw a heavy metal weight at another enslaved person, hitting her instead. This injury caused lifelong pain, seizures, and vivid dreams, which she believed were visions from God. In 1849, Harriet escaped slavery after her enslaver died, fearing she would be sold. Using the Underground Railroad, a secret network of safe houses and abolitionists, she traveled nearly 90 miles to freedom in Pennsylvania. She famously said, "I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person now that I was free. There was such a glory over everything." Harriet didn't stop at her own freedom. She became the most famous conductor of the Underground Railroad, risking her life to lead others to freedom. She made a free 19 dangerous trip back to the South, rescuing over 300 enslaved people, including her family. She used clever tactics to avoid capture, like traveling at night, using coded songs and carrying a pistol for protection. Slaveholders offered a $40,000 bounty for her capture, equivalent to over $1 million today, but she was never caught. During the Civil War, Harriet worked for the Union Army as a spy, nurse, cook, and scout. She was the first woman to lead an armed expedition in the war. In 1863, she led the Combahee River Raid, freeing over 700 enslaved people in South Carolina. Despite her contributions, she was paid very little and struggled financially after the war. After the war, Harriet settled in Auburn, New York, where she continued to fight for justice and equality. She opened her home to those in need, including the elderly and formerly enslaved people. She became a vocal advocate for pre-Quincy women's suffrage, working alongside leaders like Susan B. Anthony. In 1896, she established the Harriet Tubman Home for the Aged Wanashani, a care facility for African Americans. She passed away on March 10, 1913, but her legacy lives on as a symbol of courage, freedom, and resilience. Harriet Tubman once said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer." Her life reminds us that one person's courage can change the world. Who inspires you to dream big?